I've listened to the song When You Wish Upon a Star from Disney a few times recently, and I really love the lyrics and the child sentiment. It says, "When you wish upon a star makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come true." Now, this is a popular song, especially among children, but this view of dreams and fate being kind, I don't think is as commonly held among adults. And today we're diving into that, asking the questions: do you still dream? Why or why not? And is it something worth doing? Childhood is an interesting thing because you get exposed to the world, but in a very catered kind way. Disney is a perfect example. It has stories of good and evil, but the good always wins. You're always rooting for the hero because you think that you can live up to them and in some way become them as you grow older. But the harsh realities come as we grow older. Some circumstances, they come even as a child. And these harsh realities leave us without dreams. The things we go through, the circumstances we live in, can tell us that those dreams are not real. That the Disney World fabricated reality is just that. It's fabricated. And so it has little application on what we do in our life. But let's imagine for a minute that life was truly however you made it. Think of your life if this song was true. So take yourself back. Think of yourself as a very small little child, 3-4 years old. Hopefully, nothing too extreme in the sense of harsh reality has come to you yet. And think of these words in your most comfortable, safe environment. When you wish upon a star makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star as dreamers do. Fate is kind. She brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing. Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. I like reading those words. I like listening to the song because it's optimistic, it's hopeful. And this comes back to how we can approach life. Because whether you're 15 years old or whether you're 85, you've come to recognize that life isn't black and white. It's not all good. Life indeed is actually very hard. I feel that right now. I feel it every day. And I've come to the determination, for me personally, that I will not give up trying to be successful. I won't give up trying to live a honest, happy, fulfilling life where I can reach a potential that I don't even know of. And I've come to that determination and will because of the simple question I ask myself every day. What is the alternative? And the truth is, the alternative is everywhere we look. It's in my family. It's in my friends. It's in the lifestyles I've only observed. It's in the realities I've come to understand in traveling and reading and learning about a lot of different things. It's alternatives that I just don't want to be a part of. And so in preparation for this episode, I've created a quote for you. And I want you to let go of your history, to let go of your current circumstances, and think of yourself as an isolated being, as a goldfish. A goldfish has a 10-second memory. So be a goldfish. Dream. For if you do not fantasize, you will never realize. Dreams carry us from the present into the imagined future. That is it. That is the reason why you should dream and why you should keep listening, because the alternative sucks. I don't want to live in it. And I'm giving you permission that you don't have to, too. So whether it's traumatic experiences, whether it's bad relationship dynamics, whether it's a job you're not excited about, or a home you don't like living in, or a body you're not confident in, these are all things that are holding us back from giving us permission to dream. And so wherever you are in life, 15 years old or 80 years old, you have a lifetime of entrenchment of whatever you've built. And that is good in some aspects, but as humans, we always seem to pick up a little trash along the way. So let's do a little thought experiment. Assume the grasp of your current limitations has let you go. Who do you want to be? Be that 3-year-old, that Disney 3-year-old listening to that song and dream. Pause the video to dream for yourself. If you could change your circumstances right now, it doesn't have to be completely different. Maybe you want to stay friends with your friends, but change the relationship a little bit. Or maybe you want to be in the same house, but make it a little nicer. Things like that. Or maybe you want to draft a new slate completely. Either way, it's totally fine. Go wild. I also totally recommend listening to that song, Lyrics to When You Wish Upon a Star, because maybe that will help you tap into your childhood self. So, after you've dreamed, let's take it back. Come back to where we are right now. Obviously, we're not living that dream. That's not reality. There's a gap. That gap is the universal struggle. It's a part of the human condition. A gap some people believe is too wide, they don't think they can cross it. Some people see the gap as non-existent. They've stopped dreaming altogether, and they've accepted their reality as it is. Others continually try to fill that gap and fail. I'd put myself in that category. And yeah, some people have stopped dreaming altogether. I love this quote from T.E. Lawrence. He said, "All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night wake to find it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act on their dreams with open eyes." I want you to break down your dream into two aspects, two categories. First, you have what you are, and I want that expanded to your circumstances of your dream. So, what is the life you want to be living? That would include the body you're living in, the house you're living in, your relationships, everything about your life, the circumstances that it lives in. The second aspect is who you are. Now, when we talk about dreaming, it's easy to focus on the what. I want a new car, I want a new house, I want this relationship changed. It's all about our circumstances. And in reality, that's important, but it is not helpful in achieving our dreams. Because nothing about our circumstances changes who we are. I want you to think about that, because as I've thought about it for myself, I've found that it's very true. I want more money. I want to live in a different house. I want this to take off. But the reality of this is that if all of those things were to happen, nothing about me would change. This is why I call money a multiplier. This is the perfect example. If you take myself and add a few $1,000,000 to my bank account, what would change about me? Inherently, anything about my character or my mind wouldn't change. So in this way, money is a scalar. If I magically wake up in a different home with a beautiful weight room, and a nice music room with a guitar and a piano, I don't think that I would live any differently. Because I have a gym across the street, I still don't go to enough. I have a guitar under my bed, I still don't play enough. And so it's easy to think, oh, I just need better circumstances. If I were to have the gym in my home, or if I had a dedicated music room, it would be a lot easier to play. And the truth is, that may shorten the gap between how easy it is to work out and how easy it is to play my instruments. But as humans, there's a concept called regression to the mean. And that is that after we have the rise and fall of extremes that happen in our life, we always come back to our equilibrium, our average level of emotional state, our average level of well-being, and our average decision making. And so the way to fix how to dream in your life and in my life is that instead of focusing on what to dream for, focusing on who you're dreaming toward. Instead of thinking of your life circumstances in 2 years, think of who that person is in 2 years. If I want a house and a new car and a better relationship with my wife, ask myself, who is the type of person who has earned that house? And who is that type of person that is in that relationship with my wife? Because that's the person that got the house. That's the person that bought the car. And so if you are that person, then you will be able to achieve those dreams. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not just that I want a new house, but it's that I want to wake up every day happy. I want to wake up every day with purpose. And I want a great morning routine. And I want to feel confident in my body. And my external circumstances is a reflection of my internal state. And so right now, I'm striving, but I'm failing. And I would say that my external circumstances are a reflection of that. And so as soon as I can make the shift to stop questioning myself, questioning everything I'm trying to do and just actually doing it, then I believe that will get me to my next level of progress. The simplest way you can realize this for yourself is ask yourself why to all the dreams you have. If you have a dream of a different job, ask yourself why. If you have a dream of living in a new house, ask yourself why. The root motivations behind your dreams are what you want to chase. Is it freedom? Is it confidence? Is it happiness? Whatever it is, if you chase that, then you see reality as it is. I can see a new house not as the end-all goal, but as simply as a byproduct of what I'm actually going for. And the ultimate hack that I think I'm figuring out and I've been learning as I've been researching and reading all about this is that you have to become obsessed with the process and you have to fall in love and have the process be your goal. Because in that end, you'll never be unsatisfied looking towards something you haven't achieved, and you won't be held back by your current circumstance. It answers both questions because I know people who live in the future. I've been listening to them say, okay, once this happens in my life, I'll be happy. And then that happens. And something suddenly shifts. Oh, well, this isn't right. And so once that is right, then I'll be happy. And the worst mistake of that is that I've realized that nothing is ever perfect, especially when there are things out of our control. And so when you put your happiness on a deadline or an expectation of if this is happening, then I'll be happy, you will never be happy. And so that's problem number one with dreaming, is that obviously right now I'm not living my dream. And so can I just not be happy? And history has it that whenever I achieve that dream, I'll be unhappy because I'll be looking at the next dream. And so that's the first mistake that we can often fall into of dreaming. The second mistake is that we don't dream at all. And that is why, if you're obsessed with a process and you fall in love with that process, then you're neither living in the past, weighed down by previous experiences you've had, any previous data that has told you that this is how reality has to be. So you can continue to change, continue to move forward and progress because you're not held back, but you're also not living in the future of what hasn't happened, the dream that you're looking for. This is why I love the possibility of becoming obsessed with the process, is because that's the present. And that's all you can control. It's all you have to worry about. And so if I'm just obsessed with improvement, then my metric of success and happiness is whether or not I wake up every day trying to do something a little better. And even better, if you have that memory of a goldfish, 10-second memory, it brings you back to the present moment every single time. Because 30 minutes ago, I was wasting time on my phone. But trying to have that memory of a goldfish leads me here to actually working with a different mindset, trying to let go of my previous self who has failed multiple times. And so what is that operation for you? What are the things holding you back that have happened in your past? What experiences have you had? Trauma, bad relationship? What belief have those experiences settled into your subconscious mind? Beliefs about how reality works. The most interesting thing I've probably learned in my entire life is that we live in a fabricated reality. We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. It's a fascinating idea that every person is a construct of reality. I learned that in a book, I believe from David Brooks. So there are two implications or two ways to approach this idea. That if the reality you're living in isn't completely true, it's fabricated in some way, these are the two things I think you can do with that information that are helpful. Because if it doesn't serve you, why are you doing it? The first is, okay, you can say to yourself, well, if it's laced in some way, if it's targeted or bent, at least have it in a positive manner. Let's be optimistic. Because that's a heck of a lot better than the alternative of being pessimistic. Trust me, I've tried that. and it's just not worth it. There's no wisdom there. So that's the first, that if it's going to be a bent reality, let's make that bend positive. The second is that let's align more to the truth. And I believe both approaches, you're arriving at the same thing, because that's the belief that, okay, let's arrive at the truth, let's learn more. And that's what I've been taking these 22 years. I've come to believe, and it's a belief because obviously I don't know reality as it is, but my belief is that the facts are friendly, that reality is compassionate. It's mercy with justice. It's darkness with light. But at the end of the day, it will be the light overcoming darkness. It will be mercy satisfying justice. It will be hope overcoming despair. Because the alternative sucks, and I refuse to believe that. Will that be true for the earth? We have no way of telling. But will that be true for me? That is the question you have to ask yourself. Because chances are you won't be here for the end of Earth. And so in some degree, doesn't matter. The reality that you live in is yours. It's your 0 to 100 whenever you die life. That's it. That means I have however long I have on this earth to create my own reality. And so I'm going to create it the best way I know how. And you may say, okay, well, that's just not possible. It's not reasonable. The real world is scary. You just don't even know it yet. And that is possibly true. I don't know what fate I'll face in my lifetime, but there is good that still does exist. I realize this every time I see a new child. The feeling of a new child, the energy of a new child, it's beautiful. It's innocent, it's good, it's pure. That's because it hasn't been infiltrated with the world. As it grows older and it has its socialization and experiences, both negative and positive, it will grow up to see a probably darker reality. But that's how it starts out. Something that is beautiful and innocent and pure. And so if that's the way the world starts out, a human life, I believe that is the closest representation to what it actually is, what it actually can be. And so in this way, I believe the children are onto something. I believe that Disney song is onto something that we as humans have just stopped believing because of our experiences. But I believe it's possible, and I believe it's something worth going for. Because, as I said in the beginning, what's the alternative? The alternative sucks. And so, I'm choosing not to believe in it. And I'm telling you that you don't have to believe in it either.
Don't wait for your wealth to feel abundant, or your success to feel empowered, or your healing to feel wholeness. That's waiting for something in your outer world to change, to take away the emptiness or lack that you're feeling in your inner world. Teach your body emotionally what it feels like ahead of the actual experience. And the moment you start feeling abundant, you're generating wealth. The moment you can embody empowerment, you're stepping towards your success. The moment you feel grateful and whole, healing begins, right? So now you're starting to cause an effect in your life.
So here are a couple things that are practical, because I spent most of this video just trying to convince myself that this is the way we're going. And now learning from an expert on actually how to achieve it.
So have the person keep remembering to feel that way and have them practice. Sooner or later, they'll start feeling that way more. And the more they feel that way, the more they'll believe in their future. And some people get so good at doing it that they walk around feeling that emotion, they feel like their future has already happened. And when you feel like the future has already happened, you stop looking for it. And that's when the magic starts to take place in people's lives. The synchronicities, the coincidences, the opportunities, they start coming to them in their life. And that's the reflection of their own personal change.
I believe that one's external reality is a representation of their internal reality. And I think they work in tandem, that our mind reflects our reality, and the reality we experience every day also, in turn, affects our mind. And so we have to work at both simultaneously. So the two things I have for you to start making that shift is, first, in your mind, to dream. And second, in your external circumstance, to start living your dream. Who is the person living that dream, or who is the person who earned that dream, and start being them. When we dream and do, that is a great place to start of how we can actually change.